This is exit planning. Let a cheater fail. So usually I take an excerpt from my book and analyze it. The book is Toxic Encounters, Why You Should Go No Contact, Post Rebounding, and it's part 3 of a 3-part series, which will be available on Amazon Spring 2021. So I'm just going to read the passage and then give a quick analysis. Let a cheater go. Let a cheater fail. Let a cheater fall. Let a cheater lose his job. Let a cheater get sick and need medical help. Leave a cheater alone in a hospital room. Let a cheater contemplate his actions while lying on a hospital bed. Let a cheater feel the pain in his leg, in his body, in his heart when one of the women he has committed to cheats on him. Let a cheater feel the tubes in his nose, feel the effects of surgery, and feel the inconvenience to his pocketbook. Let a cheater feel discomfort, feel pain, and feel like there is no one available to rescue him. Let a cheater feel his own consciousness, all the thoughts that come to mind of his cheating, the cries of people he has hurt, the pain he has caused, and the damage he has wreaked. Let a cheater suffer through homelessness, suffer through addiction, suffer through setback, suffer through contempt, suffer through death of a family member, and suffer through feeling inadequate in his own life. Now, this sounds very harsh. I know that you are thinking this. This sounds very harsh. The problem with assuming that it sounds very harsh is how many times do women feel all of this as a result of the man cheating? How many times has there been a woman in a hospital bed, pregnant, going through pain in birthing a baby, and the husband is not there. He's with his mistress, and she has to birth that baby alone, take the baby home from the hospital, and then all of a sudden he comes into the house and he wants to be a quick little father, right? How many times I think it was Tyler Perry father, who later he found out was not his real biological father, said something in an interview or something that his father dropped his mother off at the hospital at the emergency, but he didn't go in. He just dropped her off, right? She was in pain or something like that, right? And so how many times does the cheater, who has no regard or respect for the relationship, for you, for himself, how many times has he done exactly all the things that are outlined in this excerpt? He made you feel, discomforted, feel pain, feel like there was no one available to help you and love you. How many times have you felt hurt in your heart, in your mind, in your body? Every time he left the house to go and sleep with his mistress and be gone for the weekend. And you know where he is. It's not like he's working on a job. You know exactly where he is. How many times have you said that you were having pain in your chest or something like that, and he ignored it and left out the house? And here it is, you on the floor clutching your chest trying to call 911. Now, I've seen that happen. How many times have you said that you were tired from your job and you needed to rest and you needed to take off for a weekend or something like that, a week rather, and he said, no, we need the money, while he's not working, right? And going out and cheating with his ex-wife or ex-partner or with some new person. How many times has he created a situation where he didn't pay the mortgage, he didn't pay the rent, and you ended up having to move in with your sister and her husband, with your husband, with a man who should be making sure that you are covered, right? Women always make sure men are covered. Even the most manipulative woman will still somehow make sure her man is covered on some level. That manipulative woman may not do it all the time, but she would definitely, most women, because we do have the nurturing capacity, we oftentimes make sure you have what you need before we have what we need. We don't even give even voice to what we need. We make sure you get everything. But I remember a time with my ex, he had some situation with his face. He got up one night, fell down on his face, and it was blood or something like that, and we had to go to the hospital. And I didn't know at the time that he was supposed to be meeting with the ex. So that lets you know that he wasn't supposed to even meet with the ex. Somehow, some intervening situation happened, and we ended up going to the hospital on his behalf. And I'm sitting in the area because I couldn't be in the same area that he was in unless I was a patient. I think it was like urgent care or something. And he's sending me a text like, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm in emergency. I'm in the area where you sit down," or something like that, for visitors, for guests. And then he was saying, and then he sent a certain type of text that made me think he was trying to meet with me. I'm like, "Why are you asking me this question?" And the way the text was sent, and he sent more after that, was it informed me that he had actually planned to meet with her that day. And here it is. I'm sitting up in the hospital with him, trying to be there for him, and he's trying to meet with his ex to have sex. Okay. Well, another time, this situation where he called himself having some kind of issue of pain or something like that later, and he wanted to go to the hospital. And I figured, honestly, he was trying to get out of keeping the job that he was having at that time. And I had been to the hospital with him multiple times prior and everything. But this time I said, "I'm not going to the hospital." I said, "I'm not going with you." And he could have been, he was probably in real pain or something like that, but I didn't care. I was not going to the hospital with him this time. I was tired of playing this little game that he was playing. He was well enough to cheat, but not well enough to keep a job. He was well enough to give money to an ex to pay her bills, but not well enough to pay the bills in the house that he was living in with me. And so he was well enough to do all the things that he wanted to do, but not well enough to, not go to the hospital, when I really felt like at that time, and I still believe that, and I don't feel sorry for or anything like that, that he was just playing like he always does. And so this time, the last time when he called himself having to go to the hospital, I didn't go with him. So then he got in that cab or whatever he called. I didn't call the cab for him. I didn't ask him how he was doing. I turned around in the bed and went back to sleep. "I'm not going with you." And so he got to the cab, he got to the hospital, but he needed to feel all of that abandonment in a sense, because he had already abandoned me in the relationship. Regardless, he was already out of his house a long time ago. We were just going through the motions. And so he needed to feel that. And when he came back, he was mad about it. And he didn't voice a lot of anger, but he basically said, "If it was you, I would have gone with you." No, he wouldn't have. He wasn't with me. He wasn't for me or help me or do anything when I was the one who was helping him. So I say all that to say, not to be a victim, but to say that there comes a time when you have to let a cheater go. And even when they are in pain and struggling and things like that, because they had all that time with you to get their lives right, to get their understanding right. They had all that time. And now all of a sudden they've gotten older. They feel more pain. They feel all that pain in their back because of all that cheating that they were doing, all that pumping. And now they want you to take care of them. I'm not doing that. You got people who've been married all these years, and the man has cheated the majority of the years, and now he's sick with some kind of disease or some kind of ailment or cancer or something like that, and now you as a woman got to take care of him. I'm not doing it. So I don't know what that means for you when you may have to let a cheater go, but at some point there comes a time when you say, "Nope, I'm not doing it anymore." Your mind, your heart, your everything would just turn. And when that happens, let that cheater fail. Hopefully you were able to gain some insight from this quick video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can visit my website for more content. Please send me an email if you have any questions, and any references to books will be available on Amazon Spring 2021. Thank you for visiting the channel.